I watched The Truth About, or What Pisses Me Off About the Fuck White, or whatever the hell it was, about the BLM kidnapping. He cucks out so hard in the last minute of it. And after,
it's unfortunate.
Yeah, and I have the last minute or so where he cucks out, and it's just...
Tired of being told that we're the worst people in the world, and then being followed everywhere we go. Not going to work. It's not going to work. And I want it to work. And if we're going to have this multi-ethnic, multicultural society,
hint, we're not.
We must start lowering the airstrike called racism against white people. We have to. Because if we keep escalating, we will end up giving the left the gift of racial conflict that they have been working for and begging for and maneuvering for almost 100 years.
Yeah.
It is not necessary. It is not inevitable.
Dems are the real race war.
Choose a higher path and a better path. Let us all live under the same rules. Let us all have the same perspectives, and let us all look towards our common humanity, rather than splitting and dividing opposing and causing problems and promoting hatred.
I don't see common humanity.
Yeah,
because this
that's really cucky. Wow.
Of what happened to this poor young man may be a macrocosm of what happens in society as a whole if we are not damn careful about where we go from here.
He's operating.
Wow, he's getting that whole. He's doing that whole whispery.
Yeah. He's operating from the assumption that the left wants race war, and that's the only winning move is not to play race war. I mean, it's kind of. I mean, it's like they're not trying to stoke a racial conflict. They're trying to avoid racial conflict. They're trying to win it. They're trying to win the war without a fight.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's.
They kind of want us to just shut up and die.
Yeah, they want us to just fade away.
Yeah.
So
he doesn't get that the actual agenda is like just elimination. But
break
man,
your will.
It's funny. I started watching that video, and whenever you start watching a Mali video, and he's very solemn. He's very
sincere.
We must secure the existence of our people and a future for white children.
Even that was he's a little too excited there.
But he's like, people, we're going to talk about something here, and.
Yeah, like this one.
White people really need to listen to this.
Yeah. It's just funny, like when he starts with that, like really kind of. So I watched the video of the teen.
Yes.
I don't know. It's funny when you start a Mali video. He's like already in the mood. He's got like that sincere stare. Like he used to be an actor, so like part of this is.
Oh, did he? Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, he saw how he used to be an actor. So you do know that like some of this is. It's not that I don't think he's lying about what he thinks, but he's
fine. He emotes very well, and he does. Yeah,
he's emoting.
Very expressive.
He's bringing acting skills to the table when he does this,
which is good. That's good. That's what you need. That. Yeah. So, yeah, but yeah, that was I thought that was a fun minute of audio because somebody was posting it on the forum, like, "Oh, look how red-pilled he is. He's gonna be one of us now." It's like,
I mean, it's possible that that's just like the obligatory filler at the end, right?
Yeah.
And that he spends like 22 minutes dropping red pills, and then he says that at the end to kind of cover his ass. Like, I wouldn't be surprised because I've seen other videos he's done where it's like, yeah, this is just straight red pills the whole way through. Like he's giving you all the crime, the IQ, everything. He's hitting you with everything.
Right.
And so like you wonder like, really, is he just saying that because he has to say it? Like, I don't know. I mean, my guess would be maybe. I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know. I mean, it goes really far. Like if this is gonna work, if we're gonna live under this I mean, what's the actual? Let's get back.
Tired of being told that we have to.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Because if we keep escalating,
I want it to work, so like.
I was trying to find. I can't find that clip within the.
We must.
And I want
stop. It's not going to work, and I want it
not going to work.
Yeah, I want it to work.
If we're going to have this multi-ethnic, multicultural society, we must start lowering the airstrike called racism.
I mean, what do you mean? The airstrike called racist? I mean, we currently live, and he chronicles it a lot. We currently live under the yoke of this massive double standard that at this point in life,
that's
it's
what
like
he's saying. What he's saying is, if we're gonna have multiculturalism, you have to stop calling whitey a racist. But that's never gonna fucking happen. And one wonders to the extent that he knows that it will never happen. Like the anti-whiteness has to, like, in order for multiculturalism to work, the anti-whiteness has to stop, or else white people are in fact going to just check out, which is increasingly happening.
Right.
But the fact that it increasingly happens doesn't seem to, I mean, it's not going to really dissuade the left. It's just going to, the fact that white people are increasingly checking out is just going to persuade them that we need to die more. Right, that's just going to entrench their view that we need to all just go away. That we need to die.
Right. That
we need to be eliminated. Like they're not going to be like, oh well, maybe we do need to be actually equal. And the other thing is that say we started operating on the basis of equality under the law. I know this is something that people signal against because they, you know, and whatever. Say we start operating into the space. Say we say like, okay, equality under the law. People get charged with crimes and convicted regardless of, like, racial considerations don't come into it. People get jobs. People get admissions to colleges. All of this stuff, we just go back to meritocracy and equality under the law, like classical liberalism. Like, say we do it. Say we go back to a classical liberal system. Well, what we're going to have is white people at the top of everything. And, you know, it'll be like kind of like it already is. Just there won't be affirmative action hires and diversity hires. And there won't be it'll be, you know, the colleges will become all white again. Businesses will become all white again. Like all that shit will go away. And there will be, you know, so they're not going to ever let that happen. Right. Like, they know damn well that going back to classical liberalism, which is what all the sort of the alt-light people want, is we go back to this egalitarian meritocratic, you know, egalitarian under the law meritocratic system. Yeah, well, that's going to create racial tiered society, which we already have a racial tiered society, but it's going to be even more obvious. And that's going to, so they're not, like, the left is never going to let that happen. And that's why, you know, that's why the left will never go for, and they will always see racism in the classical liberalism, even though the classical liberalism is, they insist they're not racist. The left understands, and this is also where DR3 comes from, because the left understands something that they don't, which is they understand that classical liberalism creates the racially tiered society. And they either don't understand it or they pretend not to understand it. Some people might understand it, but they don't care because this is just what they're going to go for. The left knows it damn well, and because the left knows it, that's why you get the DR3. That's why you get the people that really believe in it say, "Hey, these leftists are racist because they don't think blacks can make it on their own." No. They understand what will happen. Right. Under a classical liberal regime, which is that, yes, blacks cannot make it on their own, and blacks will in fact become, you know, there will be no more, basically it'll be the way it is now, but with no more diversity hires and affirmative action hires. Also white people will then be significantly freed up to not have their jobs threatened, not have their neighborhoods threatened, because again, you can live next to whoever you want. Like, you don't have to have the Section 8 stuff. You're not going to be moving poor quote unquote people into wealthy neighborhoods. People can segregate by class. People can segregate by race all they want, because we're not looking at these things. We're not enforcing these rules. So yeah, you're going to get white people will actually start doing better, because they'll be like, hey, look, you know, we can have our own neighborhoods now. We can have kids. We can have our own schools. We don't have our jobs threatened. So all of a sudden things, I mean, look, I'm not a classical liberal, but I get why people are, because it's sort of like everything, like a lot of things that we would like would happen. Meaning, like, it would actually create it would go back to de facto segregation and all this stuff. And the left knows this, so they'll never give you classical liberalism. You'll never get it. You're never going to get it. If you insist on like we're going to have a racially diverse classical liberal society, no, you're never going to have it, dude. Mm-hmm. You're never going to have it, because as soon as you get it, assuming that it could ever happen now, it's going to go right back around to civil rights bullshit, because you're going to get the segregation and the racially tiered society again. And the left also won't allow white people to recover like that, because you get white people recovering financially, white people recovering their birth rates, all this shit would start happening. They're not going to just let that happen. Like, they're not going to let you reform the system that way.